If you are looking for easy, everyday ways that you can build executive functioning skills for your child or teenager, you are in the right place. There's so much information nowadays on the internet. You could Google and Pinterest your life away, pulling all sorts of tips and tricks and ideas on how to build executive functioning skills. Except sometimes all this information can leave you overwhelmed, confused, and actually feeling like you don't even know where to begin. And not to mention, sometimes some of these tips and tricks we get from the great wide internet aren't actually the best. And especially if they're not combined with the right strategy, it can actually end up being a waste of your time and your kids' time. So we are gonna get a little bit into the strategy at the end of this video, but right now I want you to give me a thumbs up or like in the comments below if you have been looking for executive functioning strategies that are easy and have felt totally overwhelmed and confused by what you found. Here we go. We're gonna go over 10 everyday, easy to use executive functioning skill strategies. All right, the first one is super easy and kind of cliche. Chores, good old fashioned chores. From the ages of 4 and up, we can start having our kids either help us with the chores or be responsible for their own chores. And chores are a magical opportunity to build executive functioning skills. Anything from organization to problem solving to time management, all gets covered under the big umbrella of chores. Second one is cooking in the kitchen. Let's stop. Whether you are a Martha Stewart Barefoot Contessa chef or you're a microwave or Uber Eats kind of person. Either way, all of those activities really need your executive functioning skills to tap in. So if we are cooking from scratch, think of all the planning that has to be done, the organizing the items you need for the recipe, making sure you follow the steps in order, all of the steps. We can't just start and then kind of quit in the middle because we're not gonna have a very good meal. Even if we're ordering Uber Eats, that still requires, let's look at the menu. Let's break down what I want to eat. Let's break down if I need to order food for anybody else. So all of those steps, old-fashioned cooking and modern day Uber Eats, both require executive functioning skills. So get your kids involved in either one of those activities. This one's a little more technical, but still super easy. Reviewing grades. This can happen at any time, at the end of the school year, in the middle of the semester. Sometimes even at the beginning of the school year, it's a great opportunity to stop. Let's take a look at what happened last semester and let's figure out what went well and what we want to improve on. That's a great way. Remember, executive functioning skills, we really need to start off with that accountability and, figuring out that these things just don't happen by chance or luck. A lot of what we do, a lot of what your kids do or don't do is why things are the way they are. Going back and having them review their grades is a great way to help them start tweaking their actions using their executive functioning skills. I love using the phrase, and I love teaching parents and teachers about this phrase. The revolutionary phrase is, I wonder. I wonder how that's gonna work. I wonder what will happen when you do that. This will help your kids start using that bird's eye view where they have to kind of take a step back and look at the whole big picture and really help them understand their actions, what they do and what they can do differently to get a better result. This leads me to another phrase I like to use to build executive functioning skills. I get it. A lot of times, especially when we have the middle school teenagers, they'll come to us with all the reasons things went wrong. And our initial instinct is to let them know that actually, no, it's not the world's fault. They made the bad choices. But before we do that, let's stop ourselves and let's go to the phrase we talked about. I wonder, this is another one, I get it. Once we tell them I get it, it switches them from being in that fight or flight response to, okay, wow, they understand me, and it builds up the possibility of them being able to come up with other solutions and other options. A lot of times I see this like, yeah, well, actually, I probably could have studied a little bit more for that test. Or, yeah, I get it. It stinks to forget your water bottle for the soccer game. Yeah, I guess maybe if I plan ahead, it just leaves them more open versus them using all their brain power to argue with us as to how it wasn't their fault. So I wonder and I get it are two magical phrases to let their executive functioning skills kind of bubble up and start to work, which leads me to pausing, just pausing, waiting, zipping it quietly. A lot of times we jump in too quick. They ask for help and we jump in with an answer. They struggle, we jump in with a solution. They fail, we come in to fix it. And what we do is we rob them of the opportunity to let their executive functioning skills, to let their frontal lobe do the work and come up with a solution. So the magic of pausing is waiting and letting them start to wonder on their own, letting them start to figure out what they can do differently. And guys, you'd be surprised. These kids are geniuses and they can really come up with their own solutions when they're given the opportunity. The last three I'm going to cover are board games. I don't think I really need to explain it. Board games are a bazooka of opportunities to build executive functioning skills. Goals, of course, is synonymous with executive functioning skills, but a lot of times we start off with these big, audacious goals and they become overwhelming and we can't meet them. So I like to start off with mini goals, small little mini goals that sometimes you can meet within the hour, within the day. We need quick feedback. This is what we want to accomplish. This is how we do it. Boom, we did it. This is a great way to build those executive functioning skills. And then this is a game that I love. Not everybody loves it. My kids certainly didn't love it as they were growing up, but I love it. It's called the Keep, Giveaway, Throwaway game. Basically, it's an opportunity for us to edit all of the stuff we have. And we can take it from big spaces to little spaces. So it can be the playroom. It can be a bin in the playroom. It can be a little container in the playroom. That ability to practice looking through the stuff, let's find it at home, let's give away what we don't need, and let's keep what we actually need, is such a foundational skill for organization and being attentive and organized and be able to complete tasks, which are what our executive functioning skills do for us. Remember, I have an extra bonus tip for us at the end of this, but what I want you to do is I want you to take these activities, combine them with your child's executive function profile, which you can watch all about in the next video, and go ahead and combine them. Use these activities we talked about with areas that your kids needs to improve. Also combine these activities with areas that your kid is already good at, right? If your kid is a great organizer and they can keep their room organized, have them help you with the kitchen. Remember, we want to boost their skills that are good and also work on the areas that need work as well. So here we are, the two bonus areas. Actually, the one bonus area is debriefing. I love debriefing to build executive functioning skills. I could get a t-shirt talking about this. So when your kids screw up, mess up, fail, forget, lose things, we are going to compose ourselves, because it is very frustrating when they do this, frustrating for them and for us. We're going to compose ourselves, put on a smile. We're going to make sure they know we love them, and we're going to go back once all the emotions have escalated, once the emotions have calmed down. Debriefing is going back and figuring out what went wrong, what could have been done differently, and what the turnout would have been, and what can I do next time to possibly maybe avoid what just happened. The other area I love to debrief in, which nobody talks about, is debriefing when they succeed. Yes, debriefing when they succeed. And this goes hand in hand with the strengths-based approach that I'd like to take to executive functioning skills. You know, a lot of times things go great and go well, and we think it's luck. The kids might think it's just luck. It just happened. But debriefing puts them back in the driver's seat. Well, actually, that semester went really well with this challenging class because I did ask the questions. I did go in during flex time and chat with the teacher. I did double check my notes with a partner. If it's, you know, showing up with all their equipment when they have, you know, a million activities during the week. I remember, yeah, actually what I started doing was making sure that I kept my soccer bag in the car the night before. Whatever it was, we want to point out that they were in control, they were in the driver's seat of their success. Successes don't just magically happen. They're not based on luck. They are based on the choices that our kids make every day, and it's super important to highlight those for them. All right, friends, your marching orders. Watch the next video on the strengths-based approach to executive functioning skills, and make sure you grab your executive functioning foundations sheet where you're going to be able to find the strengths and weaknesses of your kids' executive functioning profile.